went to that Herman Cain thing? Did you make money in the Herman Cain thing?
Right, but that's not included. I just got that money tonight, so it'll be in the next report.
All right, that's what I wanted.
Good enough? Okay, old business.
Okay, the old business that we have is that at the end of May's meeting, Russell had made a motion to amend the bylaws with regard to our absence policy and with regard to our proxy policy. The motion was tabled at the end of that meeting.
Russell, do you have anything to bring up at this one, or?
Can we read back the motion?
Actually, it was, there was not an exact motion. You moved to amend the bylaws with regard to absence policy and proxy.
And at that meeting, we excused people who did not get notices.
Yeah, you actually did.
No, that
Wasn't
was
it?
not old business. That was taken care of at the previous meeting. We did excuse
Right,
all
but that might
absences.
remind him of what was happening.
Okay, we'll go on. New business. Business submitted in writing.
Okay, we had 3 motions submitted in writing before the meeting. Russell moves that the DeKalb GOP donate $1,000 to the J-Max Davis campaign. That was seconded by Will Frisch.
Okay, Russell, want to speak on it for 2 minutes?
Just might be a confusing motion procedure. Just a short explanation. I've looked at Taylor Bennett's campaign. If you like, and I don't often rag on politicians, but if you like California employment laws and $15 minimum wage and the kind of economic policy that will probably wreck this state, he should win. I'm a Republican. I don't like that. Regardless of how there were 3 Republican candidates going into that election. Some people chose each of those 3 candidates, but all of those 3 are better than Taylor Bennett, and I think the party should get behind that.
Okay.
Look,
Question.
that,
Oh, hold on.
the,
Craig's got the floor.
yeah, the DGOP does not have sufficient funds. I know firsthand that Max Davis does not need $1,000, but he needs work on the ground. So if this motion, instead of throwing in $1,000, say we're gonna have a dozen of our beautiful men and women to go out and work the streets for him, that would be more helpful, because I don't want to criticize some of the people sitting in this room. And I know some of you lost a bet for me, I am very concerned about Max losing the seat to a Democrat, and I'm personally not happy with it. And, I think Max, based on my last conversation with him, he needs more boots on the ground. He does not need $1,000. He has no problem. He needs people on the ground.
Fran?
It's bigger than just J. Max Davis. If we lose this election, Fulton County is then in control by the Democrats. The delegation of Fulton County, of which Tom's a member, Tom's not a member, I'm a member of, Mike was, gave us the majority. If we lose this seat to Taylor Bennett, then the Democrats then control Fulton County in the Georgia legislature. And I guess at this point, the disappointing thing to me, and I'm having a hard time understanding this, I want to thank Russell because he was with J. Max last weekend, and but we're the people. And furthermore, the silence of Catherine Bernard's getting pretty deafening at this point. And either we're in this together as Republicans or we're not. And I would hope that she's going to hurry up and endorse him. You know, we've had races before where we go against each other and lose, but at the end of the day, it's the Republicans versus the Democrats. Now, some of you I know support Catherine, that's fine. Support anybody you want. But somebody's better start talking to some folks. We better get an endorsement out from her because it's going to make a difference. This is a very close election. Very, very close. And it'll be a disaster if we lose this seat to Taylor Bennett.
Tom?
Just want to say, adding on what Fran said, and adding on what Tony said, the House Leadership Caucus and the chairman have raised $60,000 for JMAX. I don't think $1,000 is going to make a difference if you needed to pay the rent. And I know you probably do, but I think he's got enough money. It's the ground game. The other side of that is not just the Fulton County delegation switches back to Democrat majority. We lose our 120th seat, which is a supermajority in the Republican Party in the House. The Senate will still keep that. But this is a key seat. He has taken a lot of money from unions and law firms and liberal interest groups from all over the country, not just in the state, but big unions, IBEW, have maxed out to him. And I'm talking about Taylor Bennett. Again, and in an election year next year, presidential election year, there's going to be a lot. That district is only 54-46 Republican. If we allow the Democrats to take that this year, it's a moderate enough district that they could hold that next year.
Has the leadership spoken to Catherine at all, the DeKalb party? Do you think maybe that might be appropriate?
All
right here.
Okay. Oh, there you are.
Russell?
Speak for yourself.
Just a note that when I originally wrote and submitted this motion last week, I talked to Jay Maxton, asked him how much money his campaign was going to run on, and yada yada yada. I was not aware of the $60,000 at that time.
Or you wouldn't know.
Given our current funds, I'm not sure that's a good. That I would not support my own motion, but actually you can't. That's a charity of Robert's rules.
Okay.
Well, if Fran Miller hadn't talked so ugly about her during the campaign, maybe the girl would be more amenable to endorsing
Okay.
it. The first thing that needs to be done is Miller needs to go over there and apologize to her.
Okay. Does anyone have any amendment to say the amount?
No, I moved to
Oh, no, we have the
defeat
motion
that
on.
motion. It's a
Okay,
waste of-
all in favor, we have the motion. All in favor say aye.
What is the motion?
The motion is to fund J. Max Davis's campaign by $1,000. Bobby, how much money do we have in the bank right now again?
7,000 something?
We have 7,000
7,992.
something in the bank right now. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
Nay.
The chair says the nays have it. Motion fails. Okay.
He needs feet in the street, not money.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
I gave him
I'll check that
$1,000.
over right now.
No, I'm saying that's but his
What'd
real.
you give him? Related to
Huh?
that motion.
What'd you give him? I donated to her.
Unless
All
you
right.
want a division.
Yeah, I sure you
A
did.
division.
Huh? No, I
No.
didn't.
The division
It's
is
feet in the
County
street.
does.
I understand that better than you do. No, you don't. No, you don't. And you just take your old grumpy attitude and keep it to yourself.
Will Frisch brought forward 5 nominations for the county committee. These are all for currently unrepresented precincts on the county committee. For Hugh Howell precinct, Brittany Clark. For Panola precinct, Ray Campbell. For Warren Tech precinct, Bill Grubbs. For Stone Mountain Middle precinct, Sean McCord. And for Midvale Elementary precinct, Maureen Manning.
Bill, do you want to speak to, wait, is there a second? Bill, you want to speak to it?
I can give more information about all this. Obviously, Bill Grubbs is here. I think most of us know him. He's a good guy. Some of these other folks, Bertie Clark was a national committee man at the time. And longtime Republican looking to get back involved, member of the Elks and member of other organizations. Ray Campbell, also an Elk that I know, good guy. He's going to help me put together a cookout in his neighborhood. Sean McCord, I've known since college. He was involved here a while back. He's dropped out for a while. We've talked him into coming back in. Maureen Manning, also an Elk, very active with the VA and charitable stuff, looking to be involved as well.
Anyone else? Comments? Seeing, yeah, Dick?
Just, I talked to Maureen Manning on many occasions, and she's really, she spends a lot of good time helping people that need.
Okay, seeing none? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Passes unanimous. Next, old business, new business?
Okay. Had one more piece of business and writing. Okay. A motion motion from Alex Johnson. I move that we institute as official policy that all external email or other communications from the DeKalb GOP or its elected officers, if sent with their title or position or in any way appearing to represent the DeKalb GOP in an official capacity, including by using the DeKalb GOP logo, must be approved by the DeKalb GOP chairman prior to being sent.
Let's get to it.
There's a second.
Oh, yeah, second?
I'll second the motion.
All right, the reason why this came up is that a few people had approached me about external communications going out that may have looked like from the party and weren't. In our rules, it's already there that all external communications need to be approved by the chair. But this body sets official policy. The executive board cannot do that. As all of you probably know from previous discussions, that is what the policy was trying to be. But to set policy, you all need to vote on it. And that's what was brought up, is to avoid any multiple email lists, people looking like they were sending stuff on official behalf of the GOP when they weren't. And I think the best way to do that is through that specific policy, specifically logos, like if it uses a DGOP logo and it's an elected officer, that isn't allowed. And if if an officer uses their own title sending something out, that shouldn't be allowed unless it goes through the chair first, the chairman of this body,
I have a
which is
question.
Brian.
I have a question on that also.
What, Tony first?
Yeah, that's on.
Tony and Travis.
Okay.
Yeah. I get a lot of your junk mail. You guys need to sign. I need to know who is sending me this stuff. So whoever's sending an email, is it coming from Brian, coming from Alex, coming from Clara, coming from who? And I exchange some text messages back and forth without knowing who is answering my email. Can we have whomever sending these notifications sign his name?
Sure,
So
most
we
of
know
the
where
time,
it's
if it's
coming
not
from?
signed, it's from me technically, because I have approved it. But if it's not from me, it should say who it's from. So
That brings us to the question, who is authorized to send text messages or emails?
basically, the rules say I have to approve it. So basically, in effect, I have. Technically, nothing should go out that I haven't.
That's sort of the point, is that we, in order to avoid the problem you were talking about, this needs to be official policy so that it's very clear that Brian is the only one sending it. If someone else does,
Okay.
Brian can then.
Can we
Approve it, but they'll have the name.
Can we modify this policy? I want a name with it.
On everything should be signed.
Okay?
Yeah.
You
a
can,
name.
wait,
I
we
wanna
have a
see it.
motion.
There's already a motion.
You
Wait, we
got
have
a point
motion
of
to
order
amend.
back here.
Yes.
Um, 2 points. One, it needs to be a motion. 2, you're only allowed to speak once to a topic.
Right?
And he's already spoken.
Well, part of his speaking was to make a motion to
He
amend.
needs- I'm just asking for clarity. Is it a motion to amend?
Was it a motion to amend?
Yes.
Is there a second? Okay, there's a second. Now we're talking to the motion to amend, which is to add a name to every email that goes out from this body. Anyone want to speak to that part of the motion? Bobby?
I send out emails announcing some of the things that you do because I have a huge list and I send it out under my name. Is that a problem?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It has to have a name. His
Okay.
thing
I
says
just
it
want
has
to make
have
sure.
a
I
name.
don't want anybody jumping on me about it.
Hold on. Is it stuck to the name part or the main motion?
Not the name.
We're talking the name right now.
Sign the name.
Anyone else talking about the name part? Okay, all in favor of amending the motion, so all emails need to have a name with it, say
A
aye.
name and a title.
I
A
just
name
want,
and
I
a
need a
title.
point of clarification.
Okay, what is it?
What happens if you don't adhere to that? I mean, you know,
Well then,
I think it needs an attachment to it.
well, technically, then that would be, if we make it, that'd be malfeasance. Someone could come and use that as grounds.
Just make it real clear. You do it, you're gone. Call it whatever you want.
That would be up to the body.
Yeah, a name and a title.
But all in favor of having a name and a title to all official emails, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Now we're back to the main motion. Travis, you want to talk to the main motion?
Yes. Well, I got 2 things. The first thing is I just want to clear up that when an email is going out or anything is going out regarding GOP events, that as long as it do not have a title, which just kind of got convoluted in the conversation when he said, "Hey, I want a name and a title." So as long as there is no DGOP logo,
Correct?
and as long as there is no title,
Correct.
what title is that?
Would it be like secretary, first vice, chair, treasurer?
Okay, all right.
That are the only, well, I would say precinct, any title in the rules, what are they?
I think the motion, you can read it back, but I think it says appears to come from the DGOP. So the point is, it shouldn't look like it's official communication.
Now, I do have an amendment, and that is, I would like to add in an amendment to the rule to address the personal invites to GOP events, which basically means, it's kind of going back to what Bobby said, and even a few emails that I sent out this week that says, hey, listen, we're having a breakfast on Saturday. I think that needs to be addressed, because it's kind of weird to want to invite a neighbor, but have to run it through the board to invite a neighbor out. So I just want something in the understanding.
Okay, what is the amendment?
To, for us to have something in there that will address.
That's what I'm asking, what is?
Okay, well, the something is to address personal invites to the GOP,
So you're
which
talking
is
about
basically.
one member?
I'm sorry?
Saying an invite from one person to one person only?
No, to one person, to whatever their contact list is.
But are you using your name and title when you're inviting them, or are you using
No,
your
as
personal name?
a personal matter, as a personal person.
Well, then that's fine, that's not being addressed with this.
Well,
And anybody can forward anything, right, from the GOP or
That's
whatever,
where he's
forward
getting
it to
at,
other
of
people?
course.
Okay.
And you're not using the official GOP provided email list, you're emailing your friend or your neighbor.
just like Henley said, it just needs to be addressed. It needs to be in there, because currently it's kind of vague.
Okay, do you have
Yeah,
some words?
it's the words is to allow personal invites of GOP events.
Are you
Without
using the
using,
logo?
I think
no,
that should be
without using
understood.
logos and without using
fine.
official
You're
titles.
fine, you're fine.
Well, then,
It's
okay,
already okay under the wording.
I think that's okay under the wording.
Yeah.
Alex?
Yeah, the way it's currently, there's nothing stopping someone from sending out an email saying to all their friends, either forwarding the existing GOP email or just a text message saying, hey, please come out to this event. Like, this policy doesn't affect that at all. Like, if you text people, you send out an email forward, or you send out a text email saying, hey, I'm Travis, please come out to the GGOP event. No one, like, that doesn't affect us. Like, I send out emails saying, hey, come to, like, a DGOP event. I just don't use, my title's legal counsel, I don't say I'm anything to do with DGOP. That's, yeah.
Brad first.
Just to make sure I understand it, and maybe get some clarity to it. If I want to send an email out to all of my friends, I can send an email out and say, come to this is event, signed Brad Young. That's fine. But if I put Brad Young, administrative officer, that's not okay.
Yes.
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 That's correct.
That is the
Okay.
line.
Perfect.
I think another distinction needs to be drawn, which is, are you using the official email list of the GOP or your own personal? I think that's just problem, because if people just start sending out the list of all our members, I think that's not, then it should go through you.
Okay, is that a motion to amend that anything that goes to the official GOP DGOP list also is included on that prohibition?
Who's the list?
Only Russell has that.
Russell, Claire,
Brian.
me, is that it?
That's it, the officers don't want to have it.
Well, and only certain officers, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have
So we can have it, I mean, that's fine. Okay, let's just, any second to that motion?